So I'm going to show you how to create an action, and this particular action that I'm using is going to be for my Cubist photography collage. So I'm starting out with all my original photos in a folder, and I'm just going to go ahead and drag one of them into Photoshop. And you will need your Actions panel, and if you don't see your Actions panel open, you know that you can go to the Window menu to open it. Now, I have already created this action, so I'm going to, actually I'll just create another one without deleting it. So what I do is I'm going to click on this button here that creates a new action. It's going to allow me to name it. So I'm going to name it CC, that's for color correction, size, and stroke. And then when I hit enter, that hits the record button. Now don't fret, you don't have to do everything real fast. You can go as slow as you need to make sure that you get it right. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and go up to Image, and I'm going to use my auto color and auto tone on the photo and just try to straighten out some of the color problems. Then I'm going to go back to the Image menu, and I'm going to go to Image Size. Now this, starting off, my particular images are quite huge, and so they're not going to fit on my page. So I'm going to go ahead and reduce this to 30%. And that's keeping it in proportion, so it's 30% height and width, and then click OK. And again, you still see this red record sign on, so it's still doing it. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select all by doing a Control A, and I'm going to go to Edit and Stroke, and this is where the Cubist part comes in. So we're going to put a stroke around the outside of our photos, each one of them. And the one I did earlier, I used 6 pixels and a white FFFs, a white stroke color. And because my selection is around the edge, I'm putting it, the location of it, on the inside. You might experiment with a different size stroke, but for now I'm going to go ahead and keep this on, actually, yeah, I'm going to keep it on 6, and I'm going to click OK. The last thing that I do in this is I am going to File, Save As. Oops, actually, hang on. I'm going to deselect. Then, and you can notice the stroke around it, then I'm going to File, Save As. Here we go. And I am going to save it in a different location. So I got it in one spot, but I want to save it in a different folder, which I don't remember what I called. I know I made a new folder. Oh, maybe I'm going to make a new folder. So I'm going to hit New Folder, and I think this is Big Ben, so I'm going to name it Big Ben. And then I'm going to select the Big Ben folder, and I don't need to rename it. I'm just going to hit Save and click OK. And see, you can see the things that they did, levels, okay, so they did the auto color, auto tone, changed the image size to 30%, made the selection, gave it a stroke, deselect, and saved. And so at this point, my action is done, and I can hit Stop. Okay? Now, before you move on, you are going to need to go to the new folder you created and delete that one. Trust me, it's going to make life easier. Okay? So now what I want to do is I closed all my files. I'm going to go to File, Automate, Batch. Now, because I just made that CC size stroke action, that's the one that appears there. But if I click on that, you'll notice that all the different actions are available. Now, it wants to know where the source is, and the source is the images that you're using. So it's in a folder, and I'm going to hit Choose, and I'm going to go to this is where mine are, okay, and it's showing me a folder, and I'm going to select that. I checked the override action open commands, and now the destination folder I have to choose, and that is that one, and I select that folder. Now when I click OK, we should see them run through the process. And yours is going to take longer because you have many more photos in your folder than I do on mine. But when I go to Big Ben, now I can look at these and I can see that all of them have the white stroke around it, have been cleaned up in color, and are ready to go on my final collage.